is it? That's just some fun for Sharp. Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Fort Patriots and Patriot Patch Company. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Whose phone is that? Dang it, Jim. Jim, you would think after 450 episodes you would know to silence your dang phone before we start. He still doesn't know how to operate the mute button either. He doesn't know how to tell me I'm number one, though. Hi, Jim. Love you, Jim.
And I didn't know how to unmute myself. God almighty. This really turned. I've had nothing but a horrible evening.
Well, you made ours better, so thanks.
Calamity Jim, that'd be me.
Oh,
here's my one finger salute, Mike, right there. Read the lines.
Peel the banana. There you go, Jim.
Yeah.
So, other than not silencing your phone and forgetting how to unmute yourself, how you doing?
Not bad. I actually did something yesterday. I went to the range.
Really? Okay.
What'd you take?
I took my Mark II.
Okay.
I took my my Stevens Model 66 22 rimfire. Belonged to my dad.
Awesome.
And I believe his dad gave it to him. Anyway, so I also took, what did I take? What else did I take? I took the Winchester Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get to shoot it because I was shooting so many courses far. I had 4 brands of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it was 1150 plus feet per second. And there was a distinct difference between that and the RC and the CCI stuff. I could tell the difference in recoil. I know 22 doesn't have recoil, but I could tell the difference in recoil, in the way the gun behaved, and even the way it cycled, and so on and so forth. There's a distinct difference. What I was doing was chronographing ammo is what I was really doing.
Fun.
I shot at paper a couple times, shot at steel a couple times, just empty magazine or something like that. Most of it was just, sort of scientific, trying to chronograph this ammo, see how it behaves, trying to get a general idea what to expect out of it. That way I could play with the numbers downrange.
There you go.
I'm expecting to see a bit of reduction in the velocity when I run it through the Wildcat with and without the suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting to see a little reduction when I run it with the suppressor on. You would think because of the suppressor not, being there, that little extra oomph would come out of the barrel. I don't agree with that, because by the time that projectile clears the barrel, the gases are right behind it. But we'll try it. We'll try all the ammo with and without the suppressor.
There you go.
So I get a general idea how everything is going to behave in what particular firearm. So actually, Mike, last time you told me I could take more than one gun, I took 3 guns this time.
Yay!
But I still have to take and run the Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
We've been waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you guys remember, particularly you guys out in the audience and the listeners and the YouTube guys, YouTube gallery, you'll remember I sat right here in this chair, and I fitted my rifle with the suppressor and the adapting washers, the spacer washers, to get it to the
clock.
Yeah, the run between 6 and 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it dead on. But anyway, took me a while. I had to mute the camera and mute everything. But once I got it, she looks great.
Awesome.
Good. And you got some of them CCIs to run through it?
Yes, sir, I do. I have I have about 180 rounds left of this CCI stuff.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
So I need 20. I need 10 each. 10 plus. Let's just say nominal 10 plus, with the suppressor, without the suppressor, for each particular brand of ammo I have.
Okay.
Some of the Arms Pro, I was surprised. It's not doing too bad, but it's a little hot.
Yeah.
But the hottest stuff is the Winchester stuff. It's rated at 1,300 feet per second. And so I have to say, coming out of that little boat gun of mine, I actually hit 12.99 on a couple rounds.
Nice.
Okay.
But I had a catastrophe.
Uh-oh.
No, I didn't damage anything, I think. But my printer decided it was going to void itself and make a mess in the bed, shall we say.
Ooh.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, well, either that or the batteries went. And I changed batteries twice, and they still went. So it's like, next time I'll try to get an extension cord, because the range at the gun club has power. And that's how much power am I going to need for extension cord in the 6-volt printer.
Oh, that's right. You got a crony, don't you?
Yeah, I got a Crony Gamma.
Yeah.
That's what I was joking about earlier in the podcast chat about using the chronograph without the printer.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I did. And I don't have it on my fingertips unless you want me to bring up another screen. I can do that. But I was chronographing ammo and putting it directly in my tablet.
Cool.
Because in my text editor, because I didn't have access to the spreadsheet that I will next time. Next time I'll make sure I have the spreadsheet access offline.
Yeah.
We don't have and where the range is, where the gun club is, we're down in the bowl. We really do have really inferior cell service.
Yeah.
So
seems like a lot of gun clubs, a lot of gun ranges don't have good cell service.
Yeah.
Yep. They also don't have Wi-Fi out there. I mean, hell, we're lucky we got electricity.
Yeah.
They bring bottled water in all the time. They even cook with bottled water.
Well, that's good.
And anyway, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the San Lee Gun Club for being what it is. Oh, I paid my membership dues yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah, for another year.
We got you for what, another $200?
No, $1.25.
$1.25. That's nice.
Well, the thing is, it's $100 for the membership dues, but it also gives me the NCRPA, North Carolina Rifle Pistol Association membership for a year.
Nice.
And they talked me into buying a hat. The hat's got the initials SLGC, camo pattern. Blaze orange, neon orange on top of camo. It's just, to me, it's just a very nice looking hat. And you guys know by now I like wearing ball caps.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something funny for you.
I can't read it, Mike. Pull it down a little bit. The live button. Pull it down a little bit, bud. Let me put you on full screen.
I got it.
When someone tells me my safe is too big, I own too many. Ah, yeah.
Laughs an American. Somebody just sent that to me.
Mike, I tell you what, if you want me to, I can bring up the one screen of the chronograph data, the spreadsheet that an old friend of mine gave me a long time ago. If you don't want me to bother, that's fine.
It's up to you. I don't care.
All right, I'll do that.
So, while you're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
Paul, what you been up to?
Oh, just finishing up some 308 cases and starting on some 6mm Remington cases.
Okay.
To get going a little later on. We'll talk about the 308 cases, but the 6mm cases are fun.
Yeah.
They're Winchester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Nick and Ray, what you guys been up to? I'll be right back. My dog wants to go outside, and I forgot to let her out before we started the podcast. So, you guys talk.
Go ahead, Nick. No, we didn't do too much. I went home for the weekend. My mom
had a retirement party from her job on Friday. Other than that, hung out with some friends, some family. Just kind of had a nice, relaxing weekend. That's about it, really, that I can think of.
We did go to the range.
Oh yeah, I don't. It was such a long weekend. Yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah, I took bought a new K9, not new, but new to me K98. What 2-3 months ago, and hadn't shot it yet, and went out and function test it and see how it did, and did quite well.
8mm.
8mm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Not one of them converted 308s, huh?
No.
No. Okay.
Got to keep them pure in their original form.
Oh, okay.
And you took what, Nick? Your commission?
Yeah, my Gavarity 8.
Yeah.
So, and what would shoot? 10 rounds at most.
Yeah, 10 to 12 rounds each, and it's just I just want to make sure it, fed correctly and shot, both cast bullets, jacketed bullets, was on target. So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I
So
did
when
do something else.
so when is your retirement coming?
Mine?
Yeah.
I retired 8 years ago, but
Uh-huh.
I've got a contract job right now that I do. I can work about a week a month, and it's too good to pass up. I'll probably do it for another 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So, I travel when I want to travel, and basically set my own schedule, so I can't complain.
So are you looking at moving soon, or?
Well, if we move, it won't be till probably next spring, because
Yeah.
there's too many things, and she's just retiring, and we gotta start cleaning out this house we've been in here for 25 years and start getting rid of. You know what it's like. You gotta.
Yeah. I know what it's like. 25 years, I moved a 20-yard dumpster in. Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll do that. I'm sure. I got a couple old cars. I got to decide what I'm gonna do with, and I don't know.
Yeah. That was a very when we moved to Indianapolis the first time around after 25 years in a house. Yes, that was yeah. Some guy got lucky. I know that because I had about 300 pounds of lead that somebody got a hold of. So,
Yeah.
so Nick, what do you got?
I actually finally got this assembled yesterday. So my 3D printer. So I'll be able to play with that this week, and so
he's going to start making 3D cartridges out of that now, huh?
So probably the first thing I'm gonna do is one of the simplest things is for like my Martini Henry. I was looking on Thingiverse, and they have basically a dummy round for 577 450 Martini Henry. Just something basic, like a cylindrical tube that tapers down. That'll test both diameters and all the other stuff. And then probably what I'll end up truly doing is I'm not going to design anything right away. I'll probably just use it to make all my own conversion jigs for like 30-06, 7mm Mauser, 7.7 Jap, all your other things. So I don't have to go buy them. I can just make them myself. So, and then in the future, I'll probably start truly designing things. So,
Okay.
For $100, I couldn't pass on it. So
you got an AutoCAD at home?
So I don't have AutoCAD at home. I'll probably just get a free 3D design something, just something to play with. I don't need anything. I'm not going to run anything with these parts. This is just
well,
just for fun.
I'm just saying if because you got a lot of skill in that AutoCAD.
Yeah. Absolutely. If I could, if work could get me a free 3D design software, I might have to talk to them about it. Maybe see if I can get a free licensing or something. Just like which one is it? Inventor. Yeah, Autodesk Inventor is their true 3D one. If I could get a license for that through work, that'd be awesome. But so if not, I'll find a basic 3D. Even if I got to pay $20, I'll see what's out there.
Big difference between the $20 in auto.
Oh,
parts.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Paul Odd asked where Candy 2.0 is coming in when you start working on that.
She got run over by a bus.
Funny.
I already know Sharinda's gonna bug off me to make stuff on it for her. I know that.
I mean, I got a list. I wasn't gonna hit you with it all at once.
Bald
How you doing,
Harness.
Sharonda?
I'm doing good and tired and good.
What you do this weekend?
I met Ken and his wife.
Ah,
We had barbecue at Q39 and hung out for a few hours. I practiced for Appleseed and started my major dental work done, the 7-month process. And I got quite a few events coming up. I got rescheduled stargazing Friday. That's using we have an observatory out here, so we're using a NASA grade telescope to stargaze, and quite a few outdoor events coming up with wilderness. So, Nick, you might want to tell your sister check the website because we're adding stuff on there regularly, and the girls are trying to talk me into doing some actual bushcraft training stuff at an actual camp where I'm like, I don't know, I'm too city for that. You can't just toss me in that right now. So that's about it. Oh, I have Project Appleseed coming up this weekend.
ooh, there we go.
I'm excited about that. I've been practicing. I know I'm not going to get my rifleman badge because I can practice as often as I want because I don't have my own. 22 rifle. That's not the takedown. My Ruger takedown has just enough microscopic bend to throw my aim off a little bit. So I'm borrowing a friend's. Got that zeroed in, and it's just going to be a fun weekend for me. Finally get to do something relaxing. Oh, and 2 weeks ago, I had a trap shooting event that I really didn't want to go to, and I was irritated with my company because nobody showed up, so I was the only person from my entire company. And I heard them call my name as I was driving off because I was being a heifer, having a hissy fit. And another lady that was on my sporting clay league that was shooting for her company messaged me the next day and told me I placed first in my division. So then I felt bad because I would have given it a little bit more effort. I just gave just enough so it wasn't a total wash. And then after that, I was like, skip it. If these people don't want to come out here and want, now I'm like, gosh, I could have did better.
Oh.
So that about sums up my week. And I got to get another bench. My reloading bench finally busted. So
Uh-oh.
a lot of cosmetic stuff going on over here. But no complaints. It's just life.
Okay. That's good. Good luck on the Appleseed shoot.
As long as I beat my previous score, I'm okay.
That's all that matters.
But I think they got me suckered in to be a long timer like these guys. These guys got like 52, no exaggeration, rifleman patches, and they still show up every year because it's like camp for them.
Yeah. It's a fun time.
Yeah, you get with a good group and.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some more ladies to join me, but I mean, I get it. They have 52 excuses, and I'm like, these men got guns ready for y'all. All you got to get is ammo. It's on sale. Just come with me. You don't have to do good. I think I don't know. We'll figure it out. Next year, my goal is to have 3 ladies come with me.
Well, that's good. That's a good goal.
Yep. Get a lady seed set up.
I've tried. Closest one is too far away, and they're not really interested. The range boss here isn't really interested in doing a lady seat or not certified to do it, and no other lady wants to get certified to do it. So
You get certified.
I don't have, there's no more time, Mike. I have no more time, no more time. Time is something that does not exist in my world anymore. I have no more time for me.
Trendy, you got lots of time. 24 hours in a day.
I'm supposed to sleep at some point.
Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah, I got my time, another person's time, and then work wants their time.
Well, become a philanthropist.
That requires money.
Yeah, it just requires time.
Well, I don't want to live in my tent. I just like to play like I live in my tent, Paul. I don't actually want to live in it.
All right, what do you got, Jim?
Don't have anything that didn't work well. I'm not sure how to do it from my phone.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got the spreadsheet.
Okay. The spreadsheet on your computer?
It's a Google spreadsheet. I can share it with anybody that wants it. But it's a
Is it
Google
on your computer?
It's on the Google Cloud, Paul.
So share it with me and I'll open it. Gracie, what's up?
Okay. I'll do that. I better mute myself while I'm doing it.
Share it to the Reloading podcast. So I don't know. All I did was work, and then I got the storage sheds combined. Well, almost. So I got the boat in my big storage shed. I got everything out of my other storage shed. Now I just got to go back and clean up all the other crap that's in my dad's storage. So, which is just a bunch of garbage. So that's all going to the dump. And the good news is I did find some stuff to pitch in my storage. So,
well, that's good. That's always good to empty out some storage.
Yep.
And then you can get to pull everything out, put it all in the back, and get the boat, and might as well hook the boat up and go fishing someday.
Yeah, that's the plan. I got nothing yet, Jim. So, anyway. So, yeah.
So we're supposed to have a conversation on ES and SDs today.
Yep. So let's see, do I have those saved? No. All right. Oh, wait a minute. I took screenshots of those. Stupid computer. So, I am emailing those to my Reloading podcast email. So give me just a minute here.
Sure.
So I can show them. Jim looks like he's deep in thought.
Yeah. One more minute, Jim. We know.
There we go.
You should have it, Mike. Excuse me. You should have it.
Okay, sounds good. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I have to give Firefox permission to share my screen.
I'm using Chrome for the main screen that I talk through and everything. Firefox. That didn't sound good. Firefox as the channel viewer, shall we say? There's a link in the private notes for you, Mike. If you're not getting it open, you guys can have your make your own copies. Please, I beg you, make your own copies, and so on and so forth.
I'm not sharing that one. So we already shared the other one. So
I can't even make out what you got there, Mike. Wait a minute. I know something that might help. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is from Chris Brannon in the Signal chat. So this is the 380
Mm-hmm.
ACP 10-shot group. And you'll notice he's got a standard deviation of 30.3 and a extreme spread of 82.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. Excuse me. This is the 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got a standard deviation of 6
Wow.
and an extreme spread of 18. And so what he's trying to figure out is why there is such a difference between the two.
Both
Okay.
factory ammo.
No, both loads.
Oh, hand loads.
Okay, I hadn't read that part.
So his comment, this is what I put in the chat earlier, Jim. So you should have seen this earlier. It says, looking for some opinions here. Both of these are with mixed head stamp. One's fired brass that has not been trimmed. 380 has quite a bit more ES than the 9. I was wondering, could it be the different cases, the different lengths causing more or less crimp because I had weighed each charge on a balance beam. So he said he's going to run a 10-round test, and if he doesn't get any better SDs, he's going to trim it. And then that's when he sent me the 380, but he didn't send me the 9mm though. So I don't know what he was using for the 9.
Okay. Well, as I look at it, and they're mixed cases, and that's the first question that you're going to run into.
There it is.
I was just showing this off quick. So
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. Go ahead. Let me max my screen on. I'll put an F11 on that full screen.
So Paul, you can continue what you were talking about.
Yeah, the case volume is the biggest thing that you're going to run into in a 380. The smaller the case volume that you're dealing with in a cartridge, the bigger chance you have of running into higher SDs and ESs. Okay. He could run with, in his 9mm, he could run with, cases that are pretty much a given that they're all close to each other. Out of 10 rounds, I don't know, exactly, but on the 380, I can tell you that there's a lot of variation in the web thickness and the case thickness, that'll give him those kind of readings on his chronograph. That's where I would come from on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be the cases. If he can find 10 cases that he could fill with water and they weigh the same or close to it, and use those 10 cases to develop his load and to reshoot it over a chronograph, I think you'd see things a little differently.
Yeah.
The few times I was able to actually run the spreadsheet on the data I had, I was getting some extreme spreads of 60 feet per second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 22. That's not to be unexpected.
But like Paul said, smaller case capacity. It's more likely you are to get wild ESs like I had yesterday.
But also, you're shooting 22, and you weren't shooting anything that's extremely precision. So
I agree with that because it was all factory ammo.
well, I mean, there's
factory ammo and there's factory ammo.
True.
Well,
that's true. You got a point there.
I mean, as far as 22, there's factory
Right.
ammo, and then there's then there's the stuff they're using to shoot 400-yard PRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're sitting there looking at Lapua ammunition for 22 that costs $30 for 50 rounds,
exactly.
There's a whole big difference in the stuff that you get Winchester Wildcats or you get Remington
Super X
or whatever, and you're sitting there looking at it costs you 10 cents a round instead of $1 or $2.30 a round. I mean, there's something that goes into it that
I never even gave premium ammo thought yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I even have any. I know Ely's got six grades of ammo, and they're top grade. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and you got Eli, you got who else? SD.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Midway USA has Lapua for $18.99 a box of 50 right now.
There you go.
For their long range stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eli has got.
That's 40 cents a round.
Let's see here.
Yeah. You're right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different. 9 different.
Yeah. 9 different 22s. Lapua's got.
Now the X-Act.
Yeah.
That's $36.99 for a box of 50.
Yeah.
In the Lapua.
That's what I'm saying. You're in the premium 22s, you're going to spend a lot of money on stuff that, if your gun is chambered for it and everything, it's going to shoot a lot better. I can't say a standard 22 barrel is going to shoot any better than than the next standard 22 barrel, but there's special chambers they put in those fancy 22 barrels, the Benz chambering and everything. and you put the bullet in, and the bullet's engraved as soon as you close the bolt on it, and there's lots of stuff going on there, guys. But there's also a lot of care that goes into making the ammo. I mean, you can send your gun to Lapua, and they will shoot it for you. You pay them a certain amount of money. They will shoot it for you, find out what is the best ammo they have, and then you buy a 5,000, or lot bullet count of that ammo. That's
Well, I mean, if you're shooting PRS, some of those guys have got $8,000 into their rifle and optic already. So another another $5,000 in ammo to eliminate that as a variable.
Right. That's what you're looking at. So SDs and factory ammo in a 22 can be all over the place.
Right.
So, and Jim, we're not knocking everything, because what we're saying is exactly what you found out, is that you got high SDs and high ESs on some of the stuff, and some of it was better, right?
Yep.
So
you'll find certain brands are better than others, and
the CCI seem to be performing a lot better. The velocity were more uniform.
That's why a lot of people like
subsonic.
Right. The CCI, that was what, 750 feet per second or so?
No, it was more like 950.
950. Okay.
All right. And that general range, give or take 25. I don't have the numbers committed to memory.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Screw you, Mike. Shit stir. But anyway, no, I haven't. The data is still raw. I haven't put it into the spreadsheet to actually get. I was still copying and pasting. I was working on it yesterday, and I ran out of time, and I had to take and get back to the real world.
That'd be interesting to see when you get a couple of those done. Maybe not all of them, but a couple of them. And the nice thing with the Google Sheets is you can actually download that as a PDF, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In case you weren't familiar, and then you can
share that.
Yeah, share the PDF, and then we can post that.
Okay, I'll follow you. I might have to. Well, I see you got the copy of this sheet that I just created. I renamed it Chronograph Record 001.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we know it can be shared. And,
so if somebody wants that, I will share it, but I will share a copy of it. I will not share that.
I would suggest, Mike, you make a copy of 001,
right.
Make it 001A, and you work from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
And everyone else, whatever you give them, make their own copy.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Because you got the top spreadsheet of the whole thing, the raw data. I learned a long time ago, stuff like that. It leave the original pristine.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sees my original.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm willing to share copies with anyone that wants it. Yep. That's, you guys want it, either email me direct at FlemingJim1953@gmail.com or reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. That's probably easier to remember.
So back to the 9mm versus 380. Six-pack project said burn rate to case capacity, which is what Paul was talking about. But actually, I think Paul Loud has a better answer. I think this really, truly sums it up.
Wow.
Because 9 is
more
better
effective.
than 380.
I'll go along with more effective.
So.
I still think 40 is better than both of them put together. Loud, shut up.
All right, I got to go over here because does anybody need the formula for SD?
No.
Okay.
It's in that spreadsheet, Mike. It's in that spreadsheet.
Isn't SD just add up? No.
It's actually it's a function of an Excel, a formula function.
Right. He's right. It's a standard deviation. It pulls a mean from the extreme spread, it pulls a mean number out, and it tells you how much each particular round varies from the
Well,
mean
right.
number.
I'm saying, isn't standard deviation? You just take the
What you do is you type in the equal sign at the formula, then
yeah.
type in capital STDEV, and then you put parentheses, your first round, colon, and then you put in your your last round.
10th round,
So
that's right.
your 10th round or whatever it is, and then you ended up with a parentheses. Okay. So let's see.
Paul,
As I go here,
what'd you do? Oh, Mr. Nelson. Welcome, Mr. Nelson. Add to stream.
okay, this is SDs here, and as we go here in B, and I hit a whole bunch of these numbers here because 200 cases you don't need to see, but this is weight before prep, and you'll see it's 0.61 grains, and you'll see the formula equals STDEV and the parentheses B3 colon B202 and ending parentheses. That's how you'll figure out it figures the standard deviation all the way through.
That's a pretty small difference, Paul. If that's 0.6 grains, that's 6/10 of a grain. That's pretty damn good. That's
right.
Pretty that is phenomenally accurate. For making brass the way those guys have to make it, my God, that's good numbers.
Now, as you'll see, when I went to trim the brass with turn reduction, you'll see that there were some that went over a grain in trimming the case necks, but as an average, a standard deviation of only of 14, that means that between the standard deviation between what was removed was only 1.4 tenths of a grain. 0.14 tenths of a grain. Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say 1400ths of a grain.
You're right, 1400ths.
That's pretty fine.
Headspace was probably the best out of any brass that I've ever ran, with only 5 thousandths of a problem there, and primer pockets were extremely flat.
Oh,
Extremely.
forgive me, but I think you meant 5/10 of a thousandths.
5 tenths.
Not 5 thousandths. I was going to say that'd be sloppy.
Yeah,
that would show up in your numbers, but no, that's just beautiful work, man.
and
That's from Peterson Brass. No wonder those guys have to charge premium price. They're doing premium work.
Right. And this is the first cases that even Lapua doesn't come this flat on their primer pocket depth.
Wow.
Out of 200 cases, there was no difference. And it was flat all the way across.
What do you mean by flat, Paul?
In other words, from the corner of the pocket to all the way across the primer pocket, the bottom of the primer pocket,
one
from
side
the
to
corner
the other.
was flat all the way across. So when you put a primer in, it was going in and it was seating.
Are you saying there
flat.
was a sharp bottom in that
Sharp
corner?
bottom in that? Yes, like they cut
Those
it.
guys are cutting those with an end mill. That's exactly what they're doing. They're cutting it with a precision ground end mill.
and
Yes.
the holes were perfect. The primer pocket holes, there was no burr whatsoever inside the case at all.
Ray,
None.
you wanted to say something?
I just said those primer pockets as square as can be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing. They're cutting it with an end mill. It's the only way to get a pocket that sharp. Punching it, you're going to have a radius in there. I don't care what you do. But cutting it, that'll do it. I heard they were machining their case heads. The flash hole and primer pocket, I meant.
Yeah. It was gorgeous. I mean, that,
Yeah.
And
hey, Paul, can you maximize that sheet for a minute? Show me a little bit more data, please.
Let's
Upper
see,
right corner.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it here. No,
all right, that's fine. I don't want to lose the sheet, but boy, that looks great.
But you got some time entering all this data.
It really didn't take that long. It took probably, 2 days to do it all. I mean, and that includes cutting the cases. Turning the cases, measuring stuff goes fast. I got all the tools that's set up for it, so it's not a big
You also
deal.
got the money, you rascal.
Yeah, well,
or at least you had it.
What can I tell you? But
how are you turning, and to what overall case length were you turning to?
turning the case next, and I'm turning the case next to point. What do I have here? Let me look real quick because I forgot what I turned them to, and no, not that one.
Paul?
Yes.
Idaho Rogers USMC has something for you. He says, I'm glad I have a job where I spent my time measuring silly stuff also.
Got news
I'm
for
gonna
you,
wait.
Idaho.
I'm gonna wait till he retires, and then if I'm still around, he's a young kid, so 0.0138 is what they were turned to. Okay. Between 8 and 1375. So if you want to count that last.
Miss Kitty's got one for you, Paul. This is a good question. I know you would be interested in getting that. She's asking if you have the digital, electronic, and the connecting wires.
Bluetooth, yes.
Okay. So you could input that data directly. That's why it went so quick for you.
Right.
Thank you, Miss Kitty. It's really nice of you to come up with that one.
Are those eye gauging tools?
Yes, they're eye gauging.
Yeah, and they're reasonable.
Yes, very reasonable. So, but we're looking at ESs here, and I want to, just explain that the formulas are available in Excel, and you can just look it up, and there are, if I remember correctly, there's 5 different ES formulas that they have, depending upon the type of data that you're looking at. Some of it is alphanumeric, some of it is numeric. It just doesn't depend upon one type of ES, but ES for what we're doing, this is for a value is using this formula. For SDs, excuse me. ES is, we all know what ES is. Extreme spread from the high to the low. So
All I can say is holy cheese.
So if anybody's looking for good cases,
You can't ask for better advertising than that, Paul.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not. I was. I always knew they were good cases. I just never took the time to really sit down and work through them and to see. And I figured, what the heck, 200 cases is a good. 50 cases is all right, but 200 cases is a good cross section of what they have. And it comes with lot numbers, quality control numbers, and who packaged them. And if you have any problem, they give you the customer support manager's direct line and his email. So.
In other words, don't mess up. When you're making the brass, don't make mistakes.
Yeah, so.
Here's my question for you, Paul. When you load those, will you keep each lot of 50 together, even all the way through your loadings, or will you
Yes.
tumble? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, with numbers like that, though, even if you mixed them, I don't think you would get a whole lot of difference.
No. But each box will be as each box gets fired, it'll be a little bit different in time. But right now they're all separated by individual numbers to go through it. So each case was taken out, weighed, and then and entered, and then the case was turned, and the neck turned, and then weighed again, and that was entered, and then the reduction was taken off, and so on. And then the headspace was measured on each one individually, and so were the primer pockets. So.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for good, accurate brass, Peterson is up there.
Yeah. That's the biggest understatement I ever saw.
You notice, though, you notice the weight of the cases, though? The 174,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
a Lake City case weighs about 174.
Yeah.
Okay. So a Lake City case is in the same weight range. Now it's not in the same quality, as far as I can tell. But then again, I've never been able to get my hands on 200 pieces of unfired Lake City brass from the same lot.
Yeah, no, not going to happen.
So to really sit down and experiment with.
Wow. Just thinking to myself, come up with 20 rounds that weigh the same, have the same internal displacement. Displacement meaning case capacity. And to come up with 20 rounds of that, hell, it's hard to just come up with 20 rounds that weigh the same. Then turn around and check the internal case capacity. I have a few thousand rounds of 7.62 NATO brass. My God, the time it would take to just sort that out.
The hard part is the volume.
Yeah.
Hard part's the volume.
Head stamp's easy.
Right. Head stamp's easy. Volume is the hardest part of any of it that you get to.
I noticed you haven't even put that in there, have you, Paul?
No, I have not worked. I have not done that. And the reason being is because the headspace was so even with it and the weights were so close that I'm thinking that I don't really need to, because everything was the case length was perfect. Okay. Case length on it was exactly the same on every one of them.
In other words, you don't want to take 3 months to enter all that bullshit
right.
data.
I don't want to sit down with a syringe and go through each one and
I
then
don't blame you,
turn,
man.
turn
I
it
don't
over and
bl-
dry it out.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you one bit. But you talk about, oh my, Miss Kitty, there's a project for you.
She just wants me to buy the 200 cases of 308 for her. That's what she wants.
I got a feeling that lady would do it too. She had the brass.
I've always done something similar. I mean, after trimming and resizing everything, weighed my prepped cases and group them in weights that are similar, which is going to get you close to the same internal volume, but it's not going to be as accurate as this.
Well, I just wanted to prove to myself that it's as good a case as Lapua. Now, what really counts is when I go take it out after I fire form, and I have 50 rounds loaded for fire forming. I loaded up a 155 grain match hollow point from Sierra, and I put in a fire forming load of 42.5 grains of H4895, and I want to go out and go see how it fire forms and how it shoots when it gets fire formed. That bullet is the 155 grain hollow point boat tail number 2156. So
now, will you full length resize these on repetitive
No.
loads or neck?
Don't need to resize them. All I did was expand the necks because according to my measurements, I am my headspace is 1.62. Okay. So I got room in there for everything to do it, and then with the expansion that I have with on my necks and the gun that it's going to get run through, we'll see how that works, because it's got a what I can't remember now. What chamber did I put in that on that? It's a 308 Winchester Beasley Palma 155. Let's see. See. It's got a neck diameter of 0.3435, 1.5 degree throat, and it has a free bore with that Sierra bullet of 0.0992.
So, Paul.
Yes.
Andre, where'd it go? Andre D'Angelo sent us an email. He's got 2 different batches of Shooter's World powder he used. And he's got some extreme spread and standard deviation issues. he's wondering if we would have an idea why. So,
Two different lots, right?
So he's got it's all the same powder.
Yeah.
Shooter's World Tactical Rifle. The first 10 rounds are 40.9 grains. His chrono, he must have done 5-shot. The first 5-shot group. Damn it, where's my glasses? The one screen I can read fine. One other screen's just far enough. Anyway, his SD is 54. His ES is 152.1.
Wow.
The second group, same charge. So the bullets are Midway Sierra Palma 155s. The brass is Lapua, and the parameters are CCI 200s. The powder is Shooter's World Tactical Rifle. The second group of 5, SD is 39.5, ES is 116.3. And then he went up to 41.1 grains. So that's the only thing he changed, was the 41.1 grains. And his SD in the first 5 is 28.5. His ES was 85.5. And then on the second group of 5, his SD was 36.9 and his ES was 109.4. So,
did he weigh every charge? I know he's online on chat right now. I want to know if he weighed every charge. How far down did he weigh it to?
That would be the question. Is Andre, what did you use to measure the powder? So that would be my question too.
Because that's a pretty big spread for that.
Yeah.
Are those bullets second Midway? He said 155s from Sierra.
Yeah.
Seconds.
Midway Sierra Palma 155s.
Yeah.
So if they're seconds, that would do it right there.
Yep.
If they're pull downs or factory seconds.
Yeah.
So just waiting for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only drawback when we're answering live questions in the chat is there's usually a couple minute delay. So, but in the meantime, if you're tuning in, Vanessa's talking about military standard for sampling acceptance standards. So, doing a little bit of information on that. So, Matt Gorman, why don't use the Lee Dippers? If you know how to use them, they make great ammo. So, I don't know why you wouldn't use the Lee Dippers. See, the problem with Lee Dippers is people don't know how to use them. What they'll do is they'll take them and scoop. It's not a freaking tablespoon, kids. The proper way to use Lee Dipper is you take and you push it down into the powder and you let gravity flow the powder into the dipper. I don't need to be big screen for this, Jim, but thanks. You let gravity flow the powder in, and then you use the same sort of tool every single time to scrape the top. Now with extruded powder, it's slightly more difficult because with your extruded, sometimes you're taking off 3 grains, sometimes you're taking off 20 kernels. Or should I say 3 kernels, and then. So I used the Midway seconds before and did not have those SDESs, Frankfurt and Teledropper, and then Dillon and Beam. So, right. I'm going to blame the bullets. Sorry, but I'm blaming the bullets.
Yeah, I'm going to blame the bullets so much here too. I'm
they're
not
seconds for a reason.
Yeah, and you may have just hit
Got
some
lucky.
bad bullets, on this one.
Yeah.
And they were good before. Sierra rejects bullets for a reason.
What I would do, and you're probably thinking the same thing, Paul, is if you're gonna recreate this again, sort your bullets, weigh them, and measure them.
Measure them with two ogive comparators on your calipers. That way you measure the top ogive, and then you measure the boat tail ogive to make sure that you're getting it right, and they're the same, and you will see. Oh, you can. Here's the thing. Sierra makes two different 155 grain bullets. Okay. They make
Those are the Sierra Palmas.
They make they make two different 155s. One is 2155, and the other one is 2156. Okay. And hold on one sec.
I am going to their website. So you're funny, Ray. And running with scissors, no, I'm not doing yoga. So click off. Match King, tip.
You had to think to get that one across the air without getting the A rating.
Uh-huh. Paul, do you think these are Match Kings? Paul went away. Paul, you think they're Match Kings?
Oh yeah, they would be Match Kings 155s. Yes.
That's what I figured, but I didn't want to assume.
So these are the 156s. Okay. But one on the left-hand side of the screen is a 156, 2156, and the one on the right side of the screen is a 2155. And you can't see much there, but there is a difference in the ogive of the bullet.
Or are you talking about the Meplat or the ogive?
The ogive, and it's just a different bullet. I mean, it's
so the Palmas specifically are 2155s.
2156s is what the Palmas were.
They are now
2155s.
Yep.
The Sierra took away the 155s. I'm just saying there's a difference.
Well, I'm looking at the Sierra website, so
yeah, there is a difference. Ugh. One 157. Just give me a minute here, guys. Settings.
So weird.
All right.
Okay. So yeah. So the as I'm looking, I actually Googled the 2156s, and so even though the Sierra didn't list them, they are still listed, which makes no sense. But that's Sierra because they're a bunch of punks sometimes. So It says the 2156 Palma bullet has a longer, more streamlined 9 caliber ogive, slightly longer OAL, and pointed meplat, which is a first for Sierra bullets. While they were recognized for blah blah match king, blah 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 blah.
About 60 thousandths difference in the
Right.
length. About.
About. So
So Andre said he's gonna measure this weekend. And
Mhm.
he's gonna measure some bullets and try them again this weekend. So STLA or STL Ammo Man wants to know how many rounds do I all use for groupings for load development. I'm using 10 for each powder increment. Too much. I guess what we need to know before we can answer that question is, are you literally going from, say, 46.2 to 48.8 and then making like 2/10 increments and making 10 rounds for each increment? Or is this... Vanessa wants to know what the ogive of an air-launched terrain-following cruise missile is. It is equivalent to the butthole of a terrorist.
I love that one. She gets a star for that one.
So, Vanessa, not in person. Only
YouTube does wonders with air launch, with cruise missile launches. Yes.
Yes. I still like when they were launching Tomahawks from the Wisconsin. Thanks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, because the Wisconsin's a thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Andre, just, measure your bullets out, see where they sit, see what happens. There's a big difference in 155 bullets that Sierra makes. I don't know what the seconds are. I've never used them, but I have used the 155s, the 2155s and the 2156s.
Did he say which bullet he's using? Is it the 2155 or the 2156?
He doesn't know. He just says they're Midway
okay.
Sierra seconds.
Okay. All right.
I will say I have used Sierra seconds before as well, and we've done it where we've gone down to Sierra and gone to their outlet store, and I've even noticed that I was getting the 77 grain hollow point bow tails trying to create just Mark 262 or no M whatever. I was getting 77. Yeah, is that what it is? 262? I can never remember.
262, yeah.
I was getting like 80 grainers, like 90 grainers. So they just kind of, and the barrels they have there, they were just kind of mixing and matching. So you definitely want to check your weights. I would check my diameters as well. So
you have to check your diameters.
Yeah,
I've been there too. I had bought some 30 caliber bullets and a lot of them, and I found 65 300 grain 375 bullets in there.
mm-hmm.
So,
but for plinking bullets, they're perfectly fine for most situations.
Yeah,
you could have a slight deformation on the tip, but if for what they're retailing at, or they used to be at least, I haven't checked prices in a while.
Yeah.
For plinking, and that's what we were buying them for, was just going and shooting plinking. And I know Dad's wanting to get some for his one of his rifles. That's a semi-auto 8mm. You don't want to shoot the 198 grain projectiles, so he's trying to look for 8mm 150 grain, and they have some in their secondhand, their factory outlet. So
before I get the ammo man here, Matt Gorman says there's a difference between overruns and seconds. There's no such thing as an overrun in bullet manufacturers. Okay? They don't overrun bullets. So
overruns cost money.
Oh, right. Overruns are they don't make overruns. It's the way those bullet machines are made and set up, that they run exactly what they need. They know what the count is, the weight, everything else. right down to the 200th of a grain on the bullets. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been through the plants, Sierra and Hornady and Spear, and those guys don't. No, they there are no overruns. Seconds, yeah, there are lots of seconds. Okay, and
Let's take a look.
it's getting to the point where a lot of it is computerized when they find the seconds. Okay, they have a computer and a comparator, and the comparator has a outline of the bullet that what it should be, and the bullet goes through, and if there's any deviation in way, a puff of air comes by and it shoots the bullet off to the side.
Yeah, but the new optical comparators, they can measure the dimensions just as it's dropping out of the extruder.
Right, but they do it in lots because as it's
Yeah.
coming out, but Sierra's really funny about it because they'll take a batch that's coming out, okay, they'll measure them all up with their hand tools, and then they'll run them right downstairs and they will shoot them to see if they're coming out okay. So that's one of the things that Sierra does. All right, Ammo Man, I am looking at 10 rounds per increment, and you're running half grain increments in 10 rounds. I never waste that much as I go into it. I will load 5 rounds up in each increment, and I'll shoot 3 to see how they group. And if 3 do not show me a round group, in other words, round like that, or if they're not all in one hole or close to one hole, then I won't shoot the other 2. I'll pull it. If they're going into a nice round hole, I will shoot the other 2. That gives me something to work off of and puts less rounds down my barrel in order to make a ladder test. Some people may disagree with me, but I find that 3 rounds gives me a start to where to start looking. And because if I get a vertical or a horizontal with 3 rounds, I'm not going anywhere with it. I mean, it's just, to me, it's a waste of powder and a waste of bullets and primers.
Yep. Yeah, 10 rounds is a little excessive. I would agree with the 3. The other thing you can do is check Dan Newberry's optimal charge weight. If you're looking for a way to do it, that's another option. I kind of use a modified scale of that, which is kind of basically what Paul's doing too, where you use. But what I'll do is I won't do half increments. So say if your min's 38.5 and your max is 41.2 or whatever, I'll do 0.2 of a grain. I'll do like three of each. So I'll do 38.5, 38.7, 38.9, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then theoretically in there somewhere you should find 1 to 2 3-shot groupings, usually next to each other, that seem to do really well. And if neither of them are perfect, then what I'll do is I'll do the 1/10 of a grain in between them. So that's what I do.
Another way to do it to reduce your volume down is to load 1 of each.
Yeah.
Okay. Every 2/10 or so on. And then
Watch for horizontals.
with a very accurate chronograph, okay, look to see where you have 2 bullets or 3 bullets that are going to be somewhat flat in velocity. So in other words, I may only go up, 3 3 to 6 feet per second with that 2/10 of a charge weight. All right. And then that gives me a place to start from then. So I'll have, let's say it's 42 and a half, 42 7, and 42.9, and I will take those, and if they're within 10 feet per second of each other, 10 feet between the three of them, then I will sit down and I will take and load up 5 of each of those and see how they shoot. And I'll shoot one at the half grain, one at the 7/10, and one at the 9, and then repeat it going back again 3 times to see how they vary on my paper as I'm doing that.
Hey, Paul, speaking of chronographs, what's that bracket that you have for your magneto speed?
Wiser.
Because as some people saw, I had an interesting time getting that magneto speed onto my 3030. So I'm kind of wondering if that's something I could possibly use.
Hang on a sec.
I don't know. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Who sells it?
Picatinny rail. It gets adapted to that, and then it.
Yeah, that's not an option for me.
So that might not work for you.
Yeah, I don't have a pick rail on either lever action, and I sure in the heck am not putting a pick rail on my grandpa's Model 94.
So
do they make an adapter for a sling swivel? Kind of like the Harris setup, where you could
Arca rail or Picatinny rail. But you have the lab radar too, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to compare the two.
Okay. Because I noticed in today's
holy crap. Gray Ops CNC makes one that's $320. Why the hell would you spend that much on a mount when you could just take that plus the money you'd spend on the frickin' magneto speed and buy a lab radar? What the heck?
Some people think the lab radar is more accurate.
Or the magneto speed?
Yeah, the magneto speed is more accurate than the lab radar.
Yeah. Maybe somebody makes a 3D printed one.
I was literally just thinking the same thing and doing research.
Well, good. You do the research on that and let me know.
Yep, we'll do.
There's a Justin, Bench Addict, I should say, just asked about a trigger, an internal trigger for the lab radar.
Inertia. Yeah, Sean Heron sent me the link for his. I haven't bought it yet.
How much is it?
Like $40.
Okay.
That way you
Jake-
can use it in the, because the problem with my lab radar is it was too windy, so it wouldn't trigger. This inertia trigger solves that problem, and you can
Right.
also then use it for your air rifles and suppressed firearms, and it's something that that I should have bought a long time ago.
The Daily Bulletin from from AccurateShooter.com, the Daily Bulletin is running where JKL internal trigger for the lab radar
Yeah, that's the one.
is showing for $35 from JKL internal trigger. So it works with the rifle's instantaneous recoil plus a pulse when the shot is fired. So $35 is not bad.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's 35 plus tax and
Right.
shipping and stuff, so it winds up being 40. Yeah, that's the one I'm getting
Okay.
when I get around to it. But I just bought a friend of the show, longtime listener. His daughter's doing a fundraiser to go on a trip, and so they had a he had a Pansness Warren 800B that he picked up.
Ooh.
And he got it really cheap, and so I'm buying it from him for $200, and the $200 is going for the fundraiser. So it's win-win.
There you go.
So
that's a nice.
yeah, I know.
Dutch
I
belt
think it's the one that Travis has. So
yeah. The nice thing about it is it keeps the case in a sleeve the whole time you're working with it. So it's a nice press, considering they really don't make them anymore. But they're still serviced.
what are you chuckling about?
Idaho Rogers says my chair looks comfortable. I know.
He's just jerking your chain tonight.
Yeah, he is.
I'm looking at this tub magneto speed mount to see, but it looks like pretty much everything freaking is a pick rail.
Right.
What am I going to have to do? 3D print a pick rail and duct tape it to the stock?
No, you take the stock off. You 3D print a stock that's got M-lock onto it. You can put a pick rail on it then, and then you're good.
Oh my god! I'm not 3D printing a freaking stock for a Winchester 94 just so I can use the magneto speed on it.
Does the sling stud come out, Mike? Does it screw out?
Yeah.
What if you because they make them longer, the sling studs. What if you got and put a pick rail in there?
Actually,
because they make them so you can do that.
Magpul makes a pick rail that will attach to the sling swivel.
Yep.
So there we go. David Tubb. This is a dangerous website. Does he still have his bullets? No, he doesn't. Oh, there we go. Yep, final finish bullets.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, if you wanna really get your barrel good.
Yeah.
Oh, is that one of them, Paul?
This is from who is this? You know, they make the bipod.
The Area 419.
Burris?
Yeah. So they make two different ones.
Now, does that attach to the sling swivel and then screw into the stock,
Um,
or does that actually just screw into the
there
stock?
are on this stock there are two different ones. So you have two options. So you have where this is adjustable, where it puts in, but this stock has two holes, one for a bipod mounted on a sling swivel, and the other one to mount a pick rail to it, with both of them there open. And,
Good night, Jim.
but they make two different ones because this is a oh, I forgot which stock this one is, but they make HS Precision has a different different pattern for theirs, which has the two bolt holes in it. But with one sling swivel, you can mount one of these up and not have a problem.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, Mr. Nelson, but anyway, I'm going to sign off. Everyone have a good night.
Good night, Jim.
Sir.
Sleep tight.
Night,
Bye,
Jim.
y'all.
Yeah, I forgot that they do that because I had a guy a couple weeks ago that needed a pick rail for something on his gun. So.
Atlas, excuse me, that's who it was. Atlas that makes these. They make
Atlas bipod. Good night, Sharenda. They're dropping like flies. Anyway,
because this is for a gray bone stock. That's what this is. This one's a gray bone stock. HS Precision has a smaller one because they don't leave as much room between the two.
Yeah, so I'll just do that because both of those guns have sling swivels. I'll just do that. And then Nick, we'll have to take a look and see if they make a 3D printed mount for that.
Sounds good.
Actually,
well, if you did the pick rail, you can just get like what Paul has there because it mounts to the pick rail.
Yeah, Paul, how much? Okay, so you can raise and lower how the magneto speed sits.
Yes, this is all adjustable here as far as how far away, how close it is.
Can you? That's a round bar, so I could actually turn that 90 degrees.
Yep.
Because the problem you're going to run into with the lever action is even if I use the swing swivel mount, the pick rail swing swivel mount, I still can't have it underneath the mag tube. I still have to have it on the side.
If you see this is flat to my desk.
Yeah.
Now you see how the angle it's off on an angle to the side. Yeah. That's what this allows you to do.
Okay.
Plus,
so I should be able to turn that 90 degrees then.
Plus I can take this and extend it out, or
other way.
Yeah. See how much I can extend it out from the bar.
Yeah.
And then bring it right close to it if I need to.
Yeah. So yeah, that would work. How much was that mount?
180.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. But you go to Magneto Speed, and I think they want 250 for theirs.
Yeah, there's got to be a 3D printed one out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Then I just got to get my printer running. Damn it.
And the other thing is that between these two screws here on the bottom,
yeah,
this adjusts your angle, so you can move it the whole bar closer or farther away from your barrel. So there's a lot of adjustment that's built into this.
.3D printed Magneto helmet. Yes.
I saw that when I was searching.
I mean, you can see the angle that I just put on it just now. Just by you can do a lot of things. So
they made who is it? Kestrel Ballistics makes a magnetospeed adapter that you can actually then put on a pick rail and put on your pistol. So yeah.
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna throw one in the chat. I think I found what you need.
Is it the one from Yegi?
No, this is from a guy, KP Texan.
Okay.
This is on
Yeah, I
printables.
just saw it.
So it's got all
Idaho
the different
Rogers USMC. Mike, unrelated question. If I order a Pew Pew from Cabela's website, shipped to my store, paid for with a card, how do you get your military discount? So what you need to do is you need to let them know when you are calling the store that has the Pew Pew that you so desire to use your military discount. So it's an interesting looking thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's how that works, Idaho Rogers. So this will be fun. We'll have to see if I can find a 3D printed one. Anyway, so if you're looking for self-reliance, you don't want to be necessarily like a complete prepper head, but you want to prepare for some stuff. For Patriots, who is a sponsor of the podcast, is a good place to go. They've got all sorts of stuff there, all sorts of stuff for you. They've got everything from pest control to camp coolers to food, flash flame, weatherproof fire starters, which is an important thing. They've got stuff for like RVs. If you're, looking for, if you got an RV or you camp a lot, they got stuff for that. So right now they got a deal going. If you buy the full-size solar generator, if you're looking for a generator, the solar generator is pretty damn awesome. And you get a mini generator for free. The mini's kind of like a travel generator. So food's actually pretty good. So if you buy the 2000X, so is the generator that they got going. They've got all sorts of good stuff. Food. They've got a For Patriots Coyote all-in-one tactical shovel kit. So it's got a shovel, one of the takedown shovels, and then you actually can switch that shovel head out for a hatchet, and a couple other little tools on there. So it's got a flashlight with it. It's got a knife head you can put on it, a fire starter on there, so flint and steel, and the oh my god, it's got a warning. It's got a warning on it. So, but yeah, all sorts of good stuff on there. It's got a warning for the people that shouldn't have children. It says, warning, your For Patriots Coyote XL or XT all-in-one tactical shovel kit is a handy multifunctional tool meant to help you during outdoor adventures. And why did we leave Paul like there? Anyway, read instructions to help during outdoor adventures or emergency situations. Read instructions carefully before use. This product contains blades, sharp edges, and flammable materials. It could be dangerous or fatal if improperly handled. This product is not a toy and should not be given to children. Damn it. Wow. How many times do we have to say children are not individual units? You need to put them together on a crew-served weapon. Come on. Everybody knows that. Don't give him a shovel to dig a trench. Dang it. But back to seriousness. They've got the food's actually pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed. And they're always adding new stuff. They got an Aztec mango chili now. They got the different solar panel setups, the generators. They got really rechargeable fans. If you're like me, you need a fan to sleep, right?
Yeah,
Paul?
definitely.
Nick, do you need a fan to sleep? Ray?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ray doesn't?
Nope, I need a CPAP to sleep.
Well, I need that too, but that's beside the point.
But the CPAP will work off of it too, so you don't have to
Right?
worry.
See, there
Yeah.
you go. But yeah. Swing over to 4patriots.com, check them out. Tell them we sent you. The other one that we want to talk about, Patriot Patch Company. By the way, I'm not showing off the food because I ate it. That's why. So, but Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co. Patch of the month for May. It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died rather we should thank God such men lived. George S. Patton. So, we just got done honoring and remembering those who gave their lives to protect us and protect our freedom so that we can do stuff like this. Sit around and talk about guns and reloading. Patriot Patch Company is on point with a lot of their patches. They usually have a theme for the month, and May has always been something to do with Memorial Day, so it's been kind of awesome. So it's fun. The June one usually has to do with 4th of July because by the time the patch comes out in July, 4th of July is over. So I already saw the patch of the month for the new one. Pretty cool. Swing over, say hi to Jake and Ryan, patriotpatch.co. Thank them. Definitely. Check them out. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Not just patches. Patches? We don't need no stinking. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing. So, anyway. Ray, Paul, Nick?
Yeah.
Shout outs?
No,
No?
not this week, other than the Peterson brats are making some really, really nice brats.
Yeah, they've always had some awesome stuff. I pulled up while you were giving your talking about yours. I pulled up Jeremy Rowland, who was a co-host at the first chunk of the show, probably like episode 40 to 200 almost. He shot F class at the time, and so he went through and tested. His was large primer, Peterson, but he tested it against quite a few other ones. And if you go to the Reloading Podcast group, we've still got that posted in the files of his testing. You're talking 6 years ago, and Peterson was still the best above and beyond everything else. So,
yeah, we're going to fire form these and we're going to see how they shoot then.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So anyway.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, I'm going to get my storage crap straightened out, and then hopefully before next week, I'm actually going to get a new hard drive and new memory put in my iMac, so it'll run even smoother. So, anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Excuse me. But, and hopefully I get some time to help Chris with some editing. So I know he was working on one of them. I don't know if he got it done or not. So he's been kind of busy too. And I've been kind of busy with trying to get storage done because tomorrow is May 31st and we have to have both of the other storages empty or I got to pay another month. So
yeah,
that's what all my spare time's been doing. So, thanks to everybody that continues to tune in and listen. And on that note, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the mill soap short bus.
Teach them shoot and reload when they're young.
Despite what your mama tells you, grandpa tells you, don't listen to her. Violence does solve problems.
And remember to support the Second Amendment and by supporting organizations that fight to protect it. Hi, I'm Jim. So, just support Second Amendment. And if you're struggling, 1-800-273-8255 or 988 from your cell phone. We need you here. We want you here. Reach out, get the help you need. It's important. So, just thank everybody for all the support for all these years. And good night.
Good night, everybody.